When a child has a diagnosis of autism, there's so much of sensory sensitivity that festivals and the arrival of festivals seems overwhelming. And I wanted to talk about this today on how to make it easy for a child to participate in Ganpati, in Diwali, in Durga Puja, the festivals that are going to come now. Before I start, my name is Reena Singh. I'm an occupational therapist. I've been supporting families for the last 25 years, and I would love to give you my ideas on how I help parents when festivals are approaching. So, right now when I'm recording, it's Ganpati going on, at least I'm Maharashtra. Then there would be Durga Puja, there'll be Navratri, there'll be Dashera, there'll be there's like a whole lot of uh, festivals that come in this period of time. So it gets really sensory overwhelming, and I just wanted to give you four strategies on what would help. The first strategy would be to understand and do what is called as a sensory audit of the situation. So, for example, if I'm going to a place where there's going to be Ganpati Visarjan or Durga Puja, I'm going to go to pandals. So, what are the sensory challenges, or what are the things that I need to take care of? Tactile ways, the child will may be required to wear those traditional clothes, and some kids find it really uncomfortable. So that is one part of it. There'll be a lot of crowd, so people may come and bump, and that may not be perceived safe by the kids. That can be another one. The third could be there'll be a lot of sounds in the surrounding environment, and that may again create some kind of a trouble for a child. There would be a lot of smells, so I'll make an audit. I'll really understand what all is needed by my child's system to cope in this situation. So that is the audit. That is number one. The second thing that would help is to create a social story, not just when the event is happening. Like if tomorrow's Visarjan or tomorrow you're going to go to a pandal, you're not going to write a social story. You'll do it like 2 to 3 weeks in advance. So this would be a good time to do it for Navratri, Garba, Dandiya, Durga Puja, whatever. So I would write a social story, and in the social story, I would explain where are we going, when are we going, what will happen in that situation. So an example would be, we are going to go for Durga Puja. We'll wear traditional clothes, Mama will wear traditional clothes, Papa would wear traditional clothes, and we would go together in the car. We would go to Durga Puja pandal. In the pandal, and then I'll describe all the things that happen there. I'll also describe about all the sensory things that may happen. That there'll be a lot of smells there, people would do aarti, people would ring a bell, whatever. So I'm going to talk about all the sounds that may come in. Everything I'll put it into the social story, so there's more predictability. The child understands what will happen, where is he going. You've already done a sensory audit of it. The third thing that I would do is pack a bag. When I say pack a bag, it means I'll take a bag which has things that will help my child. It'll be like a sensory bag. So if there's going to be a lot of sound, then I have my noise cancelling headphones with me. If there's going to be a lot of child is going to get uncomfortable with those traditional clothes, maybe there's a t-shirt worn underneath on top of it the child is wearing, and if still the child is uncomfortable, I remove those clothes and I let the child be in those comfortable clothes. If there's a lot of sound, smell, too many people and my child may have a meltdown, then I have already discussed a video last week, and I'm putting a link where I spoke about how to handle meltdowns. But when I know that that may happen, then what are the things that I have? Do I have something that a child can smell in my bag? Do I have something that a child can blow so that he can use his breath to regulate? Does that bag have some safety blanket that my child feels comfortable, some toy which has weight in it so that the child can hold on to it and feel safe? Does that bag have something to chew on to so that the child can feel comfortable and use mouth for regulating? I can put something in that bag that's like the child's favorite, which makes him feel safe. The smell, it can be, you could think of all the things that will go into that bag and you carry it along with you. So you've already done a sensory audit. And according to the sensory audit, you filled up your bag, which is a sensory bag. You've already given a social story. You've explained to your child what all will happen in that situation. And then the fourth thing that I feel needs to be worked upon is selecting a space. When I say space, meaning having an exit strategy. Sometimes when we go to a place and when it is too much, you've tried everything, you've tried the smell and everything, you've done everything, and still there would be times where a child is not comfortable. And if a child is not comfortable, then having a place like an exit strategy, that this is the place that I would go to and this is a safe space. Or, like in that whole setup, if you've gone to somebody's house, you would prepare those people. That is important. In your social story, you'll also talk about people who the child would meet, and you would also talk to the people who your child is going to meet about that these are the sensory challenges, these are the sensory difficulties which may come up, and this is the bag, and this is how I plan to support, and I need all of you to help me with this so that we can make this this festival and this gathering wonderful, not just for us but even for my child, for our kid, like in the family basically. So you've conveyed it all, and you still have an exit strategy, which means in the house there's one corner that you've selected where the child would go to whenever there's some when it's too much for your child. you know it could also involve visual, whatever, calming bottles, whatever, but the child would go to that corner and have a time where there is no sensory input and there's no sensory overwhelm. If need be, child would be taken for a walk also. So my points are: you do a sensory audit, you accordingly fill up your bag. The third thing is you make a social story in your social story. And then the fourth one would be to have an exit strategy and to also explain to the people who you would meet about how you're supporting your child. So these are the four, no, five things which you would work upon and make those festivals really memorable, not just for you, but for your child. Most parents who come to me, they do not want to go for festivals because it's too much. They prefer to go out. And some kids, yeah, do have a lot of sound sensitivity, and I understand that. But low sensory overwhelm situations where your child can participate prepares your child. It helps them to generalize, it helps to them to get ready to be in those situations. You're doing therapies, of course, and then when you take your child to such places when there is festival, yeah, it adds up to that sensory stimulation, but it also provides that social richness, adds up generalization, opportunities, and so they are very important. Some parents avoid these places, which is good in the initial phases, but as the child gets comfortable, it's important that we very, very gradually introduce them to these outings with these things in mind. One thing that I forgot to mention. So I said four things. I think I have six things in my head. The sixth thing is do front loading. Front loading means if you're going for a festival today or to Durga Puja or to Diwali, whatever puja, you ensure that in the morning the child has had a good amount of deep pressure activities. Then before you go to the venue, wherever the place is, or they come to your house, you get that good proprioceptive input to your child. If you're taking a child to somebody's house, get down and let the child walk for 20-25 minutes and let them get that good proprioceptive input. If your child is comfortable, let your child wear a bag which is 10% of the body weight, and there's that weight, and then you carry your child, let your child walk to the place. If there's someone coming home, before they come home, you take your child again for a walk. Now, when I keep saying, say, you, I know you can't be everywhere. So it's important to ask for support and get as many people involved in supporting as possible. I know some kids are very difficult to manage and only one person can manage, but that is another skill that needs to be worked upon, where you're asking for support and you're letting your child be with someone, and that someone is a family member or somebody who supports or a friend. So it's not just you doing it all, and festivals don't feel like, oh my god, now so many people are going to come, what do I do? It feels like, wow, we'll manage it, we'll make it happen. So these are some things that come to my mind. What do you do? I'm sure you must be doing some things when there are festivals approaching. Do put it in the comments. I would love to learn from you. uh, what are the things that have helped you a lot? What are the things that you feel you're stuck at? We can make more videos, we can talk, And I just want that you have an amazing this whole next 3 4 months would be full of festivals, and I want you to make the most of them and to use those opportunities as generalizing opportunities for your child.